Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be planting some palm tree seeds, and I thought I would show you how it's done. The palm tree that you see before you here is a Mediterranean fan palm, and it was planted just about 2 years ago, 2 years this spring. So you can see how it's done. They're slow growing to start with. This guy's about a foot tall now. And I think this year he's really going to take off now that he's getting a few extra leaves to him. The first year he just kind of looked like a blade of grass. So I wrote down his name there so you can see him. That is a Latin name, and those are the zones he's good through. But that's not what we're going to be planting today. I just thought I'd show you that guy to give you an idea of what we can expect in a few years. So I will move you this way. This is what we are going to be working with today. These are called windmill palms. I have a few of them growing in my yard already. They kind of grow everywhere in my area. I'm on the west coast of Canada, Vancouver Island. So we're zone 8B. So these guys are perfectly hardy here, and they get quite large and produce lots of seeds. Every once in a while I come across a palm tree that has, when they produce seeds, they produce thousands of seeds. So what I did was I took a couple dozen seeds off a local palm tree here, and when you get them, they just look like a small, almost purple miniature grape kind of thing. And 2 days ago I peeled all the grapes and then put them into some warm water, which obviously cooled down, and I changed the water 2 days in a row. So this is the third day that they're in the water, and they're time to come out and get planted. I will just pour out the water there, and I'm just going to drain or dry them on this. This is just going to remove any extra remnants of the pulpy sort of flesh that was on them to start with. Some people say now is a good time to actually, oops, bumped the camera. Now is a good time to actually sterilize them further with a mild bleach solution. I'm not going to be doing that. I don't think they come across bleach in the wild, so if I don't get 100% success rate, that's okay. But there we go, they're kind of dry now. So you can see they're good size. They're like the size of a pea. They're very, very hard, even though they've been in water for a few days. They're quite hard. And they're kind of like a heart shape. Yeah, or a bean. They kind of look like they could be beans as well. So anyways, what we are going to be planting them in for now is this container here. It is a 2 gallon. I'm going to put all 24 seeds in there to get them germinating. And the mix I'm using is just actually the leftover mix from when we planted the pineapple the other day when we repotted it. So it's just a organically rich mix with some perlite in there. Maybe I can bring you in even closer. So that is the mix there. And I'm just going to spread the seeds all out. Now you want a deep pot to start with, because before they even break the surface, these guys have a big taproot that goes down, and if you plant them in a little tiny pot, the taproot's not going to have a chance to grow successfully. Now obviously I can't keep them in this pot, judging from the size of the other one. They're eventually all going to need their own, whoops, dropped one. They're eventually all going to need their own 1 gallon pot. But as I said when we started the video, for the first year they just look like a blade of grass. So this pot will definitely be big enough to, well, hopefully be big enough to get them to that size where I can transplant them next year. I don't know that I'm going to need 24 palm trees anyways, but I might just take a few of the biggest, hardiest ones out of the mix. Oops, and there's an empty spot. So They're all spread out in there, and I have just kind of tapped them down. Now you just want to cover them with about 1/4 of an inch of soil, basically just enough so that they're covered. You don't want them to be too deep in there. Just like so. Give them a bit of a pack down so they have good soil contact. Now to germinate these guys, germinating is very simple. I'm going to give the surface a spray with some water, and that way it's going to, the dirt is already sort of moist, I'll say that to start with, and we'll spray the surface with water, and then all we do is cover it with a piece of saran wrap to keep it nice and humid in there, and they germinate at room temperature. They don't need a heat mat. I'll move this back over to this guy here. He's a little bit more interesting to look at while we talk as opposed to staring at dirt. So they don't need a heat mat to germinate. 65 to 72 degrees is perfect. So I'm going to keep them in the house, just in a cool room, and they should germinate within a few weeks to a month. And yeah, I'll give you guys an update on them when they germinate. So anyways, if you have a chance to grow some palm trees, I highly recommend it. If you live in a zone where you can have palm trees outside, definitely hunt down some seeds for ones that will grow in your area. I've seen in like Home Depot and that giant coconut palm trees starting to grow out of the coconut. Definitely for most of us, that's not going to end well, being they have a max height of 100 feet or so. But these guys are great, being they can grow outside and take our weather. I will say this guy, he has not had a winter outside yet. He lives in the greenhouse. I'm going to put him out for the summertime. They take quite a bit of fertilizer when they're young, and then I bring them in for the winter. It just sort of keeps them from going dormant. I think I've definitely got an extra leaf or two out of them this winter, so well worth not letting them go dormant or risking it. I bought a little palm tree once in a 1 gallon. It was the kind of seeds we just planted. And I thought, well, it's hardy. I can leave it outside. It's good to zone 7. And, it didn't make the first year. It got down to, we had like a couple cold days just like this year. And it got down cold enough that it killed the tip and didn't grow back. So luckily, small ones aren't that expensive, but big ones certainly are. Anyways, enough rambling. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching.